The first time my legs gave out, I was carrying a birthday cake. It was Noah's 34th birthday. I remember because the candles were still lit when I hit the floor. The cake splattered across the kitchen tiles, and frosting smeared against the cabinets. My knees buckled, and I collapsed so suddenly that I didn't even have time to brace myself. I couldn't feel my feet. At first, I thought it was shock. "Noah," I whispered. "Something's wrong." He didn't rush to me. He sighed. "Claire, not today. Please don't start." "Start?" I was lying on the ground, unable to move my legs. His mother, Diane, leaned against the counter with her arms folded. "She does this whenever attention isn't on her," she muttered. "It's psychological." Psychological. That word would follow me for months. The slow decline, it didn't happen overnight. For 5 months, my body betrayed me piece by piece. First, it was dizziness, then nausea, then numbness in my hands, then weakness in my legs. Every time I suggested seeing a specialist, Noah had an excuse. "Our insurance doesn't cover that. You're just stressed. Stop Googling symptoms." And slowly, I began to doubt myself. Maybe I was anxious. Maybe I was dramatic. He even convinced my sister. "She's been under pressure," he told her. "She just needs rest." The worst part wasn't the pain. It was being alone in it. The insurance policy. One night, while Noah was in the shower, his laptop lit up with a notification. I wasn't snooping, I was looking for our utility bill. But the email subject line froze my blood. Life insurance policy update. Beneficiary confirmation. Policyholder, Claire Bennett. Beneficiary, Noah Bennett. Coverage amount, $850,000. I never signed that. I never agreed to that. And the signature attached? It looked like mine, but it wasn't. That was the first crack in the illusion. The tea. Every night before bed, Diane insisted on making me herbal tea. "For your nerves," she'd say sweetly. It tasted bitter, stronger than normal. One evening, I didn't drink it. I poured it into a small glass bottle instead. The next day, while Noah was at work and Diane was grocery shopping, I used the emergency cash I had hidden inside an old winter boot, $1,700 I had secretly saved from freelance projects. I took a rideshare to a private lab and told them I suspected poisoning. The technician looked at me carefully. "Do you feel safe at home?" I didn't answer. The fall, 2 weeks later, it happened. I was walking down the driveway to get the mail when the world tilted. My legs collapsed beneath me. I hit the concrete so hard, I tasted blood. I couldn't move. Not my feet, not my toes. Nothing below my waist responded. Noah ran outside, but instead of panic, there was irritation in his eyes. "Get up, Claire. The neighbors are watching." "I can't," I said. "I can't feel my legs." He leaned closer and hissed. "If you're pretending, I swear." The paramedic who arrived was named Elena. She noticed things others didn't. She noticed how Noah answered questions for me, how Diane kept saying she has anxiety, and how neither of them seemed shocked. Elena knelt beside me and quietly asked, "Has anyone been giving you medication?" My eyes filled with tears. "Tea," I whispered. Her expression changed. The lab results. At the hospital, doctors ran a full toxicology screen. The private lab called first. The tea sample contained industrial solvent compounds, chemicals that should never be ingested. The hospital confirmed it. I had consistent traces in my bloodstream. Low doses, over time. Enough to damage my nervous system. Enough to paralyze me. And if continued, it could have killed me. The bachelor apartment. While hospitalized, I asked my friend Mara to check our bank records. Noah had drained $3,400 over 3 months for car repairs. There was no repair. There was a lease for a furnished bachelor apartment across town, signed 2 months before my first symptoms. He was preparing to leave, but not empty-handed. The recording, Months earlier, during one of his gaslighting lectures, I had started recording our arguments on my phone. Instinct, maybe. One recording captured everything. Diane, it's working slower than I expected. Noah, it doesn't matter. The policy activates either way. Diane, just make sure she keeps drinking it. I had deleted it from my phone in fear, but I forgot one thing. My cloud backup was automatic. The arrest. On a quiet Tuesday morning, while I was still in rehab learning to stand again with support braces, detectives walked into Noah's new apartment. They found cleaning chemicals matching the compounds in my bloodstream, forged documents, and Diane's messages coordinating the dosage. Noah and Diane were arrested for attempted murder, insurance fraud, and conspiracy. The investigation later reopened a case from 8 years earlier. Noah's former girlfriend who had suffered mysterious neurological complications. She survived. Barely. The courtroom. When the prosecutor played the recording in court, the room fell silent. Noah's confident posture shattered. Diane's hands trembled. For months they called me dramatic, unstable, and crazy. But evidence doesn't care about opinions. The jury deliberated less than 4 hours. Guilty. The recovery, I won't lie and say everything went back to normal. Some nerve damage remains, but I can walk again. Slowly, carefully. Every step is mine. The settlement from the civil case ensured I would never depend on anyone financially again. But the real victory wasn't money. It was clarity. I learned gaslighting is not love. Financial secrecy is not protection. Dismissing your illness is not support. And silence can cost you your life. The final twist. 6 months after the trial, I received a letter from the paramedic, Elena. She wrote, "I trusted your eyes. They weren't the eyes of someone pretending. Sometimes justice begins with one person choosing to believe you. They thought I was weak. They thought I was dramatic. They thought I wouldn't notice. What they didn't know was this. I was gathering strength, and strength is far more dangerous than fear. Would you like me to help you format